Okay, so on to a little bit more challenging because I'm going to add in a hang, which I have been working on keeping my suction hold in a hang position, which completely changes my intrathoracic and intra-abdominal pressure and makes hanging a lot more fun. Doesn't feel like my head is about to pop off of my neck now, like before jaw surgery. And I even tried to get back into some hanging in the fall, and it just was not conducive to my neck feeling good. So I had to put a hold on that until tongue tie untethering in December. And then I hit the ground running in January trying to learn how to put my tongue where it needs to be in my palate for correct breathing and correct posture, because it lifts the entire postural chain. When the tongue lifts the hyoid bone in the throat, it's kind of like a little floating kneecap in the front of your throat, okay? And there's a lot of attachments there. And you can imagine from being tongue-tied for 42 and a half years that all of the muscles under my tongue and in my neck have been crazy tight all the way down to my toes, because the deep front line runs from the tongue to the toes. So here I am just trying to get into my body. So I did some 2-arm hangs. I'm going to do a little bilateral hangings. Just feels good. Sorry, not bilateral, unilateral. Means one arm. My left arm, that is the side that I'm really trying to open up. When I was 6, I had a bad fall. I fractured my skull from ear to ear. I broke my left collarbone and I fractured my left eardrum. So all of that to say, I'm really working on my scapulothoracic region on the left side, just meaning where my shoulder blade attaches to the back of my rib cage, into my collarbone up above, and into my neck. Part of that, I think, has been compounded by the fact that I couldn't really get good left heel contact on the ground based on how I was breathing, which was not well nor adequate / sufficient for the first 42 and a half years of my life. So I'm really trying to relearn how to use the left side of my body. None of us are symmetrical. We all have, different lungs on the left to the right. We've got an extra lobe on the left side compared to the right. Our heart is on the left side of our body. Our liver is on the right, I believe. Most of us orient to the right. So if you're interested to know more about Postural Restoration Institute Physical Therapy, ptIII, that is something I have been pretty heavy into the last couple of years. I first learned about it 10 years ago when I was working in sports medicine again, but in DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth. I was working for Dr. James Andrews. If you are familiar with the orthopedics world, he is the top orthopedic surgeon in this country, America, and surgically builds back our top paid athletes. So he was building an orthopedic center in Plano, which is around Frisco on the Dallas side of DFW, and for pediatrics. So you can see me here getting super stiffness through my body. That is not something I'm trying to do. That is something that just happens. I've just really gotten very good at letting my body go where it wants to. You can see my left glutes there talking to me. This pursuit of opening my left side of my neck to free my skull and neck pain, it requires me to move my entire body well. So that's why I work so diligently on freeing my hips. And Dean, if you're here today, thanks for commenting on one of my first videos. I did see you asked me to post more about neck specifically with the same vibe. Sorry, the vibe's kind of off here because you're not getting to hear my music. So I will post more at-home workouts with my own music blaring where you can hear it. And I'll try to do a voiceover over that. But here I am just taking a little break. Again, working on my correct swallow. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, stick around, I'll talk more about it. You can also find me on Instagram, where I share a lot in my stories pretty much daily. ebbs and flows just based on mom life and wife life and human being life. But I post a lot in my stories, and those all disappear every day, so come check them out, because if you want to know more, they usually don't get reshared. Every now and then I'll share them in reels, but my stories are just daily stuff, and then they're gone. You gotta come back the next day to see more daily stuff. It's under the same name, Built to Heal. But here I am using the bar for a little bit of sensory feedback as I rotate. You'll notice the majority of my movements are rotation and counter rotation, because that is how we heal. Ladies, you got to get unstuck from the programming of, well, I should hide my curves because, I don't want people to see my female body. And you can't tell me that's bullshit, because 20 years ago, I was talking about this with female athletes when I was strength coaching, and having to talk teenage girls out of their body dysmorphia. And, one high tower diver specifically, she wasn't as petite as her peers, and it really was hard on her heart. And, her peers were getting high tower diving scholarships to the University of Hawaii, and another one of her males went to Duke, and she was just having a hard time with it. And we just gotta accept that our bodies are beautiful as they are. And ladies, tucking your tailbone to hide your bottom is not gonna do your neck any favors. You gotta untuck the coccyx. So I'm just using the trampoline for a little bit of vibration feedback, using the squat rack to literally keep unwinding. I know, you don't see people doing this at the gym. It's weird, right? I'm aware of the dudes around me looking at me thinking is she okay? And I've just had to accept that I have to not care in order to get through my workout. Now, I'm still a human being, so there are some levels of care where I do just tone it down a little bit if I'm noticing too many side glances, because I have worked in fitness for 25 years. I know how to turn something into looking like just regular fitness stuff. But I take that mask back off and get back into what I'm really doing here, and that is healing my body the way it wants to unwind, because I really do believe we are built to heal. And you're gonna get tired of hearing me say this, but I'm not special, y'all. I'm just a human. And you've got the same capabilities to heal yourself that I do. You just have to get comfortable enough with the fact that you are not your body, okay? You are not your body. You are more than a body. You have a body. You are a spirit. I used to think that my spirit resided within my body. I woke up from jaw surgery. My neck started unwinding that night in the OR, and when I walked out the next day and I could walk and breathe at the same time, that was a big gong in itself. But then I got home that night and I got in the shower and I put on some music and I was like, oh my gosh, I can feel the music. And then I realized, my spirit's not in me. My body is in my spirit. Yeah? And you also have a mind. Those are 3 parts. So some of my feelings just got a little bit too intense. You can see me taking a seat here, literally hugging and holding myself, reminding my body, it's okay. All the hard work I did with hanging with suction hold and doing some pulls and letting the somatic bodywork do what the somatic bodywork wanted to do kind of made things intense.